Drink nothing, Christina.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Entrepreneurs. And on today's episode, we will be highlighting how to build your business together with a spouse or partner and navigating challenges even when there isn't that support. And who best to help us with this discussion today but our power couple guests, Sarah and Tony Zolecki. Sarah and Tony started from scratch, like most of us when we launched a home-based business many years ago. However, over the past 25 years, they have built an impressive and highly profitable $200 million a year global organization. And along that journey, have helped develop over 100 6- and 7-figure earners. They have a contagious passion for helping people and deliver high energy, effective training that combines both a laugh out loud, authentic humor and compelling insight to building your business. So stay tuned and we'll see you on the inside.
Welcome to the Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that these two people, rock star people, are here. Sarah and Tony Zolecki, welcome to the Uncensored Entrepreneur Show.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. First of all, that video was so cool. I was like, I don't know what you, but I was like, oh my God, I want a video like that. It was awesome.
We can make that happen. We can
totally make it happen. Yeah. We can make it happen. Okay, so first of all, you guys are like in two separate locations.
Yes.
Does that happen often?
Yes, of course.
Divide and conquer.
Yes. So Tony's in the car. Sarah's at home.
Yep.
So you said to on Aaron to go get some groceries.
No, gosh, I wish. Half the time we're so busy we forget to eat. No, I think that's the beauty of our business is that we can kind of work this business from wherever, and we're so blessed that we get together so we can kind of divide and conquer, and I think too. I mean, we do everything together, so I think it's sometimes a nice break for both of us, right? Where we're like, okay, you can go do something, I can go do something. And then we come back and, meet in the middle and all that good stuff. So
you guys gotta miss each other, right? You guys gotta miss each other a little bit. Well, today is a special day because not only is Sarah and Tony Zolecki here, the one and only people that I absolutely adore, but today is also a special day because my one and only co-host, one of my co-hosts, my one and only.
One and only. Her best.
My best co-host. No, I'm just kidding. It is her 40th birthday today. So Christina, we just wanted to wish you guys a very happy birthday from all of us here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's one of those things that, age really is a number. I feel like I'm no older than 25, but I'm looking at these guys right here. And so I'm like going to just brush over the 40th birthday and like pretend that that's not happening. But I'm like super excited that Sarah and Tony are here because I met them like quite a few years ago at a Ray Higdon event. And I got to tell you, these guys light up a room. Like the energy that they have is absolutely contagious. It is something that when you are in their presence, you feel this draw in their direction. We've been able to go on like many incentive trips with these guys and also be able to sit down and talk to them. And I remember like my husband meeting Tony for the first time, and my husband's like, this is like the nicest man on the planet. Like he's such a good dude. And like, that's how you guys show up in every room together. And by the way, I do understand, being with your partner all the time, day in, day out, it's kind of nice to have some space.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well,
So you guys, I
also
want
too.
you guys all stay tuned for the end of the show because I don't know about you guys, but I have a little special announcement to make. So
Oh,
stay tuned for the end of the show. 'Cause you
Okay.
are not going to want to miss this. And Christina, I already know what's going through your head.
What's going through my head?
she has baby brain. She has baby brain. Nothing is going through our brain. Don't you know that?
Yeah.
Listen, if she hasn't had a margarita or a drink and she can barely drink her coffee because her daughter is like all over her. How many cups of coffee is that? Is that decent?
Totally. I'm drinking like lemonade. She's like, that better not be a margarita. I'm like, babe, it's lemonade.
How much sugar does that have in it, Mom? Sugar is not good for the baby.
So I'm on a strict diet.
So before we get into some, obviously the drilling of questions for Tony and Sarah, I did want to say we have our number one fan that just popped in to say happy birthday.
I'm going to do her mom.
And yes, this
Thanks,
is
Mom. I love you.
So we do appreciate that. And again, Christina, thank you for spending some time with us today. I know it's your birthday and you probably have 1,000 things that
She's like, I can't drink coffee. What else am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going for a beach massage after this. Okay. So we're good. We're good.
So obviously we're going to be talking a lot of just in regards to the success that you've had over 25 years in business. Yeah. But, we also want to kind of underline this topic that all of us, we struggle with at times. And that is when you have a spouse or a partner in your life, there's times that they absolutely 100% support everything that you're doing, right? So you're on board, you've got the same vision, same goals. We'll talk about how the two of you keep that aligned. But then there's the other side too, right? Like what happens when there isn't support or when it, doesn't necessarily, when those that vision and those goals don't align with one another. So anyways, we'll kind of have it with that, but tell us a little bit about like your journey. Was your journey happening before you were together or did it all kind of happen?
Oh, let me just tell you this. I love their love story. So
yay.
All right, let's hear it for our fans that have never heard it before.
To the person that's so in love, she's like, I just love the love story. And all of us that have been married, we're like, yeah.
We're like, whatever, Tina. Okay, yeah, okay.
I just found love this year, so you guys got to give me some.
Is in the honeymoon phase still.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's like losing.
All right, so tell us a little bit about that, sir.
Tone, why don't you start? Go ahead, honey.
Well, here's the great thing about life and meeting Sarah and being here today is that, we were both in network marketing a long time ago and we were with the same company. I was there 7-8 years. Sarah was there, I think 5 or 6. We had the same upline, same circle of friends, but we actually never met. And when that company actually closed its doors, I went back into corporate America. Sarah went back into corporate America. And then Eric Worre got back into the profession in 2005 and actually gave Sarah a call. Sarah started, back in the profession, building that company. And Eric was actually going out to California. And he said, hey, who's your best guy out there? I need to get in front of him because I want, to talk about this company with them. And it was a guy named Bobby. And Bobby, basically, I was his best friend. And he called me. I was actually in finance working for Dodge Jeep Chrysler. And I remember getting a call from Bobby saying, hey, we got to go meet this guy, Eric, and hear about this new company they're launching. And my good friend Sarah called me and said, bring my best guy. You're my best guy, Tony. So we actually got there late. Eric was wrapping up, but he was so generous with his time where he spent, the next 3-4 hours with us. And that night I got back into the profession in 2005. And me and Bobby were high-fiving in the parking lot. It was like 2 a.m. because we were going to change the world, make all this money. And we were just so fired up to be back in network marketing. And the next day I had all these questions. And Eric said, well, those are great questions, Tony. I'm on to the next city. Call my cousin, Sarah. So I call Sarah. She answers all my questions. We start talking, find out we were both in that same company, never met. And we actually started building this more than a working relationship over the phone, and we were on the phone for a couple hours almost every day until we met the next month in Chicago for the company kickoff. And I remember when we met for the first time, my mom was there, Sarah's mom was there. We fell in love. We got married 4 months later.
Wow.
And, again, I was like, holy cow. You know how they say in our profession, I recruited up. I married my upline. I was a smart man.
That's right.
And we started building that together, that company together, and the rest is history. So, yes,
Wow.
I found the love of my life because of this awesome profession. And that's why I'm so grateful more than anything of this profession.
Tino is so right. That's such an incredible story.
It's like a story that people almost can't even believe. They're just like, "Are you kidding?" I'm like, "I'm just telling you this. I don't know how else."
That they got married 4 months after they started dating. I was like, "What?" And you guys are still married?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's everything, right?
Right?
Yeah. I really clung. I really clung on to this 2 hours on the phone before you had even met, right? Because I think back to this is what I envision is the old school days when phones were still connected to the wall, right? And you'd sit there and you'd fall asleep talking to that person that you just did not want to be the first person to hang up that phone. And it sounds like that was your story. So that's awesome. Not many people can say that their spouse was also their sponsor, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I gotta remind him every once in a while I'm still the boss of him. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I like the positioning of that, Sarah.
Right?
I like how you position yourself in that for sure.
How long have you guys been married total now?
18 years.
18 years ago,
Beautiful.
you guys started this
You
journey.
got 2 beautiful kids. You guys are, you light up a room, you light up social media. You've been such a beacon and a lighthouse for people over the last few years. It's been absolutely incredible, to even watch you go from when I met you to where you are now and how hard you guys have worked. Because I think, a lot of people are sold this dream in network marketing that it's an easy way to make money. And I'm laughing when I say that because it's not. It's a lot of personal development. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of leadership growth. I know I've had some really great conversations with you, Sarah, when there's, challenges that you need to overcome. And I was definitely somebody that avoided hard situations and hard conversations for a long time until I had some really great conversations and some insight from you. And so how do you guys do this together, right? Like, it can't, do egos get involved sometimes? Do you guys agree on everything? Are you, usually parallel? Do you talk it out when things get challenging? I think a lot of times in marriage, outside of business, that we have to have these really challenging conversations that often we will avoid because it could be really difficult. But now you're in a business situation, so you can't really avoid any of that stuff. And I've seen you guys grow so much over the last couple of years. What's your secret sauce being married and in business together?
I don't even know. Tony doesn't drink alcohol, but that's not true. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. We've been working together for so long, right? 18 years. So people ask us, hey, I really want to work with my spouse, or how do you guys, work together? Like, what do you do, or what's your deal for working together every day? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a loaded question. For us, it was interesting. So when we got married and we started working together, here's what was a little bit challenging for us. We both were 33. We both had built separate businesses, right, on our own. And then all of a sudden we had this great idea. We're like, hey, let's work together. This will be amazing, right? And we realized really quickly, we're like, oh my gosh, like we are finding ourselves kind of settled in our own ways. Like we both have our own way of like how we work our business and what we do. And I don't know, Tony, what would you say? That I'd probably say the first year of us working together, it was like pretty hard. It wasn't like a pretty sight. And, we definitely came to a head where we just kind of sat down and we just said, gosh, do we want to make this work? Like, do we really want to make this work? And obviously we both said, yeah, like, I don't want to build with anybody else. Cause it was almost to the point where we're like, hey, one of us can build and one of us can support and whatever. And that's it. And we just said, we got to figure this out, and, one of my don't know, I wouldn't call him a mentor, but he's just a great friend of ours that we actually met in the profession. First year we got married, matter of fact. He was in our team, and he was in his 60s, married, I don't know, Hillary and Joy, 20, 40, 50 years maybe?
Yep.
And I always like when people have been married a long time, I'm always such a big believer, like, hey, like, pour into me so I can just be better, And I just asked him, I'm like, hey, like, what are, if there's one piece of advice, as cliche and corny as that sounds like, what would you tell me about being married? And he just says, the number one thing that I always do is I always find a way to celebrate our differences. And that was probably one of the most impactful things ever for me, because I think what happens when you work together is you don't understand, like, your spouse is not going to work like you. And especially because he's a man and I'm a woman, and we just think different and we do things differently. We are always butting heads on it. And so we really focused on, just falling in love with each other as we are, being okay with that, not trying to change each other, understanding that we're on the same team. There's any time that, I would have to look at him or he would have to look at me, and he'd be like, hey, we're on the same team. You know that, right? You know what I mean?
We do that sometimes too, even without working together.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we really only got each other. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
we had to really kind of figure that out. So, so I think that was a big piece for us, is just understanding I don't do the same things you do, and vice versa. And we got to be okay with that, and not because we tended to get really frustrated with that part. That's a really big piece,
That's really good advice.
Yeah, I actually got something, I have a phrase that I use in network marketing when I'm building, teams and businesses all over the world. I say, would you rather be right or would you rather be rich, right? Because so many people, they got to be right all the time. It's got to be their way or the highway. It's this is how it's going. And it's the same thing with that phrase with Sarah and I. Tony, would you rather be right or would you rather have an incredible, happy life, right? And I want an incredible, happy life. So I realize that, Tony, I don't need to be right all the time. I don't need to be the one, pushing my ideas all the time, my advice all the time, my vision all the time. Like, there's another person here, a beautiful woman, Sarah Zolecki, and you know what? She has a voice, and she has ideas, and she has vision, and, she's got her thing, and it's awesome. So I realized really quick early on, as we got married, as we started building the business, like, Tony, you do not need to be right all the time. Put your ego in check, right? Put your insecurities, out there and just deal with them, but don't take it out on the woman that's helping you have an incredible life.
I love that. That concludes today's show. No, but really,
we haven't even gotten started.
but really, that is very valuable. There's so many of us that kind of fit partially into that category where, one spouse is an entrepreneur, the other maybe has a 9-to-5, or they're holding down the household, which is a job in itself, as we all know. So, I mean, what kind of advice would you give them from that perspective, if either one of you would like to weigh in on this, in regards to, like, what it takes to put in that work, right? To put in the effort of, if we have the goals and the dreams that we aspire towards, I mean, there's going to be a lot of time that is going to be sacrificed. I mean, I'm sure either one of you have sacrificed a lot of time when it comes to your family to get to where you're at now.
Well, I think, do you mind if I run with this for a sec, Tony?
Yeah.
Go ahead, babe.
Oh, okay.
Ahead,
Yeah.
So,
You're asking Tony. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then I will go back and forth, but I think it's important that, we also made a pact that we weren't going to keep score. I see a lot of couples try to keep score.
Yes.
And so that's why people get resentful, right? So if you're working together, it's easy to keep score, where it's like, well, I'm recruiting more, I'm doing this, or aren't you doing that, or whatever it may be. And so we just kind of learned how to be like, there's going to be seasons that I'm going to be super hot, and there's going to be seasons he's going to be, and there's going to be seasons we both are. And we just have to be willing to just, like, just give each other grace in that. But also I think it's important too, if one person is just building and the other person is supportive, of not keeping score as well. And one thing that I think that creates kind of what I call kind of the buy-in for the supportive spouse and partner is make sure that it's not your business, but it's our business.
Our business.
Right?
I love that.
Because
Yes.
otherwise what happens is that's when you said like the sacrifice, they don't understand that piece. And they're like, oh my God, one more Zoom. Oh my gosh, you got one more, you know what I mean? And even kids too, right? My kids are looped in on all of this. So, so I think it's sitting down and talking about, what do you, I know that, there's gonna be times that I'm gonna be working hard and there's gonna be seasons that are gonna be crazy. But what's our vision, right? I think it's important for you to have your vision of what you want, but also like in a bigger scale, like our vision, like what do we want to design together, right? Even though, because the supportive spouse or even the person that's not like proactively building the business, they are just as important as a person that is doing the reach outs and the calls and the recruiting and all of that, right? So I think it's just making sure that they feel loved, they feel heard, they feel understood. You know what I mean? Like they're part of the process too, because when you create that, then they don't get resentful. They don't get it because then they're excited. They're like, this is where we're going. This is our vision of what we're doing. And, one thing too that we love to do, and I'd love Tony to jump in on this too, is we do a lot of rewards. You guys, rewards are so motivating. So Tony and I, we do rewards for each other. We do rewards with the family. We do long-term rewards. So when we sit down and we do these gatherings, right, in our house, maybe we're going to do something like, for example, like November for us is quite crazy, right? It's the biggest month of our year for us. So our kids know it. Our kids know it's going to be, pretty crazy. But they also know too, like, hey, at the end of November, we're going to do a pretty awesome reward together as a family. But we let them pick. We let our kids pick. We're like, what should we do when we hit this goal? What should we do when we hit this reward, right? I do it with Tony. Tony, listen, I know we're going into a crazy season. What would you like to do, like me and you together? Like, what should we do? What do you think would be awesome? And I let him pick, right? So let your spouse, so then because the buy-in then is just incredible because then everyone's so on board. They feel like it's us, right? It's not like mom's deal or dad's deal or whatever it is. I think, people sometimes I see with like this non-supportive spouse situation, I really feel that the reason that they feel they're not supportive is because you don't bring it into your circle of your business.
That's it.
Like,
You bring them in. I'm just telling you, because I hear so much, oh, my spouse is non-supportive. They think I'm working all this time, or they're doing all these things, or they're feeling left out. And I'm like, well, they probably are feeling left out. Like, what are the rewards that you guys are going to do together? Like, what's your vision of do they even know? You know what I mean? Like, why you're working as hard as you are, right? So I don't know. I just think like that reward piece is, we love doing it together as a family and as a spouse. It's really fun to do. And I feel it's kind of like part of our balance, that we have in our life. I feel that it's a good kind of balancing piece for us.
Yeah. I think I'll say this to this, great question and topic, this discussion we're on, is that, you think about freedom and lifestyle and what this business can offer you. Listen, it takes sacrifice. Nothing is given to you in this business. You got to earn every bit of it, right? And that's just like in any relationship. That's like in our marriage. You know what I mean? I got to earn our marriage every day. I got to earn my relationships every day. I got to earn, my rank in my business every single day. Like, just because you've gone out and done something in the past and, you might have all these accolades and, people, think you walk on water, so to speak, a lot of times it gets to people's head and, they all of a sudden, think they've arrived and, now, they don't need to do the work. And I think, and I bring this up because of this, I think sometimes when you have a unsupportive spouse, could be either male, female, it's because, you say that you want this business, you say that you want the income, you say that, you want the team, you say that, you want to grow, but they don't see you doing any of it. They don't see you doing the work.
Yeah.
They don't see you showing up. They don't see you doing the things that you're telling them you want. So then it creates, frustration with your spouse, because they're like, you know what I mean? I'm working longer. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm doing all the stuff I got to do because you say you really want this business, but your actions don't match what you've been saying. So you just got to really make sure that if you're going to bring it in this business, that you really do the work, because it's really easy not to do the work. And that can create just a lot of frustration in the home or with your spouse as well.
You know,
Wow.
when I was dating, it was so hard to get these small-minded people to understand what I do, because I would tell them what I did, and they're like, so you don't have like a real 9 to 5? And I went, So if you have somebody like that in your life, or, a spouse or something, Tony, what kind of advice would you give them? Like, they don't understand the entrepreneurial side of things.
I think what you got to do is you just got to, I always say slow people down to speed them up, right? And that's in anything, with my kids and my business, with some of my relationships, with the outcome that I want us both to see, or everybody to see, is that you just got to tell them that this is what this business is, and give them a little bit of a blueprint of this business, and, what it takes and how it works, and, what you're going to do every single day, and what that's going to take for you to do every single day to get the results that you guys talked about, and again, I always let people know that it doesn't happen overnight. I think a lot of times in our business, it's really easy to say, I'm going to make all this money, I'm going to hit these ranks, I'm going to create all these customers and create all these, new team members. And we say it like it's a piece of cake, and we say it like it's going to happen right away. And we say it like, you know what, I don't really need to learn the skills, it's just going to happen. And, that's not the case. You know what I mean? Again, I look at my walk in this business, my learning in this business. It took me 3 years to figure this out, to really learn how to start communicating with people when I got in the profession, how to start asking the right questions, how to start, giving them, the right tools that they needed so that they could win and have success, which ultimately I would have success. So I think it's just really important for what I always like to say is taking personal responsibility, really owning your business, but don't make it so much bigger, right off the bat than, it is. Because I think if you're really authentic and you're real with your spouse, and it shows them that, one, you're committed, but two, it's not going to happen right away. But listen, I'm going to work my tail off, and this is where I'm going to be in the next 6 months, in the next year. I think you have more of a supportive spouse then.
Definitely.
Having that communication, right? Like being able to communicate. When I first got into this industry, I was a hairstylist. I had my own salon and on-site wedding business, and I had a baby, and I couldn't, this is like now 8 years ago with Izzy, right? And I actually had a shoulder injury, so I couldn't continue working. And I told Ryan, so I started my first real network marketing business. And I say real because I didn't even know what I was like. I bought products before, but didn't even know it was network marketing. And so I started my first business when Izzy was 3 weeks old. And I saw the vision from the moment I got into it. And he was just like, oh my God, my parents tried this thing. Like everybody in my family has tried this thing and failed, right? They've not made any money. Like, oh my God, what is she thinking? And that was his perspective. And I thought, I'm never going back to work again. I'm going to do this instead, right? Like, this is the answer to my prayers. And so we had this conversation, and he's like, honey, you should just, relax. And like, you're supposed to be on maternity. I might've been a bit postpartum. Like I can admit that now, but I was just like, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do this. And you know what? One of the things that I often say to people is, look, you decide your outcome. And I was so determined to not go back to work that I would create benchmarks. So I was like, if I make $3,000 a month, can I just go back to work part-time or just take weddings? If I make $5,000 a month, can we just like close down the salon and then I can build on that? And he would, he'd be like, yeah. And in the beginning, he was very apprehensive. And I just said, okay,
yeah, baby, anything you want.
But he was just like, okay. But I said to him, you know me, you love me. Do you trust me? And he said, yeah, I trust you. And I said, okay, I'm going to build this thing. And then at my year mark, I came home and I was like celebrating a promotion, right? A rank advancement. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. And he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, that means that now you no longer have to go to your bar job. That means that you get to be a stay-at-home dad. And I never talked about that like he had tears in his eyes. He couldn't believe that that was the situation that we were in, because I didn't talk a lot. I worked, and I continued to work and prove it out that I was able and capable of doing it. And so I think a lot of the times, like Tony was saying, like we get stuck in this place, like I'm going to do this, or I'm going to climb to the top of this mountain and I'm going to make all this money, but we don't put the work ethic behind it. And then we have people that are like, well, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. Yeah. And I think that often there's a grace period there that needs to happen, because not everybody runs out of the gates like this. Like who you were before you got into this industry matters. And you see people like they've either built really strong relationships and gained trust from people and they understand long-term business, or they're coming in and they have like very few friends, very few connections, right? Because they haven't bothered to build that piece of their life. And this is really personal development on steroids. This really is growing into a new human as you grow into a bigger business. And so to see two people come together and do it together, right? Like we see a lot of people in the industry, one partner works, the other supports. That's what ended up happening. Ryan came home and ended up being a stay-at-home dad, but that didn't come without problems. People, you know, he would have family members say, when's he getting a real job? Or like, you can't be happy. Like you can't be happy being at home as a dad, right? Like there's like these little undercutting jabs that come through, and you truly have to come together as a couple and realize nothing out there matters. What matters is what you decide to create, and you are on the same team all the time, right? And sometimes we need a little reminder of that. Right. But I really admire you guys for how you've built business together and worked through those challenges and allowed, I've seen you guys speak together and how you honor each other. Just like Sarah, you're answering a question, say, is it okay if I take this, Tony? And there's this mutual respect that you're not fighting egos. You're doing it as a team. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my mentors many years ago told me that tasks and goals may change along the way, but the destination always remains the same, right? And so what I find was interesting in those words is it sounds like a lot of what you're talking about. The fact that, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be changing. I may have to work long hours to make this happen, or, especially in network marketing, I may be working in the evening while you're working during the day, and so there's going to be kind of this overlap. But at the end of the day, if you're including, and I'm so grateful that you actually mentioned that, both Sarah and Tony, that if you've included the entire family in on that goal, that destination, then it's huge. It changes everything, because now the mindset, even for the children, is like they even get pumped up. Like, Dad, you better get out there and make those phone calls, or you better start making those appointments.
How close are we to the goal?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to go to Disney World, right? Yeah, I want to go to Disney World. So, but I love that. And I do think that is missing. We see it all the time in our downline and other people within the organization that are coming in. They get so excited because they have this goal, and maybe it's only surface level. It's like, I just want to get out of debt. I want to have a little bit more money. I want to have a nicer car, whatever that may be. And it's, I hate to say this, but it's kind of inclusive, like a me goal rather than an us or an our goal. And so that is important.
And I've shared that before. I love, Sarah, that you set goals even for your kids. When I started coaching, my kids were kind of complaining like, Mom's, always on the computer. She's always on Zoom. And I'm like, you better be quiet. But eventually what happened is I started rewarding them. So I said, whenever I'd hit a financial goal and I'd get like a large ticket sale, I would let them spend a certain amount of money. So they're like, Mom, did you close a client today? And so
like, get off the call.
Yeah.
So wrap it up, Mom, wrap it up. Close the deal.
Yes, how that has shifted. But one thing that has worked also for me is like time blocking and letting my family know that I'm going to be working during these set hours. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, you're right, they come into this space wanting to make this money, but they're not working on their business. So when you have that time allocated that you're going to do certain money producing activities and your family's also aware of that, that can also work in your favor. So Tony and Sarah, I'd like to know, you guys talked about how you had to go back to corporate America. I loved how you shared that, because we do have these dips and these valleys that happen in business. But then you guys got together And you seem to have just soared. So now that you're in that scaling phase, can you share with us what that looks like to you and Tony work on different tasks in the business, or how do you continue to grow into the millions, and I mean high millions every year?
I think it's interesting for us, right? Because people are, what does your guys' day look like together? So I feel that because we both learned the fundamentals of the business separately, we both do a lot of the same things, right? Because I do see some partners where they're like, one of the partners a little bit more, front and center. The other one does more kind of administrative. Like people have asked us like, what are your guys' roles? Like, what does that actually look like? And, we do have different strengths, but we also have a lot of the same strengths. And so I think, for us, I mean, I don't know. I mean, our heart really, I think because we've been in the profession as long as we have, we've been through every chapter in network marketing for someone and all the ebbs and flows and all in between. We really feel that we're at the place where it is about paying it forward, So, for me, I don't, and for Tony too, I like I can speak for both of us. Like we don't really have this, year picked when we want to retire. Like that's not really our heart. We really feel that, it is our job to serve at a really big level, and God's blessed us with so many experiences in network marketing and so many highs and so many lows that we feel that when we do make those connections and have interactions with people that we can help them cut 6 months to a year off their learning curve. Like Christina and I, right? We met and we were talking about, and she's like, hey, I'd love to have a conversation with you about like, how do you navigate through like conflict resolution? And I'm like, do you want to get on a Zoom? And she's like, all right. So I got on and I just poured to her. And I was like, this is how you work through conflict resolution. This is how you work through all of it, And I feel like,
and we weren't even
that's
in the same company at the same
if
time.
I'm not passing it forward. Yeah, we weren't working together, nothing. Like it was just like, hey,
No.
But I feel like if I'm not passing that forward, like it is so, it's like, it's all these wonderful gifts that God has given us through the dark times in our life, right? That have now are all these amazing messages where I'm like, oh my gosh, Christina, I feel you. Like I've been there. Let me walk you through, pieces of that. And hopefully, this will give you some good guidance, right? In direction. So I feel like when you're saying like, why do you guys feel like you're scaling so much? Because I feel like we are just so focused on serving and everything that we possibly can right now. Just because we've been doing it for so long, not because we're amazing, but we just have gone through a lot of stuff, right? After 25 years, you're bound to do that in the profession. So, I think that's really like where our heart is. And I think too, as you guys know, I mean, personal development, man, it's hard not to get addicted to it. I we love the striving, getting better. We love every year looking back on ourselves where you almost don't recognize yourself, right? I tell people like you should have to reintroduce yourself to you every year because you've grown that much, right? Like if you're not reintroducing yourself to yourself, that's not a good place, right? And so, so I think like that's the thing for us is the whole just continuously growing into the next best version, and not saying like constantly having that hustle mindset, but it is that I know that as we are transforming and evolving into better people, we are going to be able to serve even on a better level than we were last year, right? So, so I think that's the reason I think that we're scaling is we're just paying things forward in such a big way based off the experiences that we've gone through.
I love that.
Yeah, I think to that too, you hear this phrase, do you ever smell the roses? And Sarah and I smell them all the time, but we're also always stretching, growing, pushing each other up, pushing up other people, figuring out how we can add value into someone's life, and how to, get them out of a funk or get them to see a bigger vision for their life, their family's life, their business, what they're doing in their communities. I mean, I just feel like this profession has just put so much into our hearts about impact, right? Because when it comes down to it, it's like, who are you impacting every day? You know, how are you impacting people every single day? And how can you create a system where you can impact, you know, not just a few, but thousands and thousands and thousands. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff we think about today, just because we know that, you know, we have this platform today that we've earned and built over the last 25, 30 years, whatever it's been. And it's kind of like, okay, what are you going to do with this platform now? Are you just going to, you know, make a bunch of money and, you know, just, you know, go and do whatever? Or are you going to really go out and serve and impact and have contribution and really help people work through the pain points in their life? Because most people only have a couple pain points in their life when it comes down to it, and you start working with people and start helping them and start getting them to see what they need to see. And if you can, you know, help them grow through that and help them see, wow, how they can use their story to go
Yes.
impact their world, now we're talking. Now this is getting really fun. And that's how we see it.
That defines leadership. I mean, you know, even in that little intro that I threw out there for you, it's not just about the $200 million, you know, stretch goal, right? Of building this organization. You've helped over 100 other individuals, you know, become a 6 and 7 figure earner. That's leadership. And I would imagine like you thrive in that space just as much as your own personal goals.
Yeah,
Way more.
It really is. That's the
Way more.
addicting part. Yeah. And I know, well, babe, if you
It's
want to
kind of like
talk
for
to
those
that.
of you that have parents, or those of you that are parents that have kids, right? It's like when you see your little kids grow up, and then you're just like so proud, right? You're just watching all these incredible milestones. That's the same thing in our business, right? And I'm not saying like our team is our kids, but you guys, you know, like that's really where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so proud, like this is amazing. And you see people come in where they're shy, they're timid, they're super self-conscious, they can't even like look at you in the eyes, right? Or even barely shake your hand, and you know, and do all that. And then all of a sudden you see in 2 years and they're just like rocket on the stage, and they're just like, you know what I mean, building these great teams and all that. And you're just like, wow, I got to actually witness and be a part of that. Like that's the part where it's like, oh my gosh. Like, I mean, I think that for us is just seeing all these stories being created is so like, I mean, really, where in another profession do you get to go and experience that? Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there just isn't.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, as a little plug just for network marketing in general, because each one of us, you know, has our share in that. I know that even businesses that are no longer even around, like organizations that are no longer around, I still kind of favor them in other ways when it comes to personal development. I mean, I think network marketing as a whole, there's no better organization that delivers mindset, heart set, training, purpose. It pulls people together. I mean, it's huge, right? Because I mean, each one of us can say that we've been that solopreneur that's worked on a task or a goal by ourselves. It's so much better when there's team, right?
Yeah, big time.
So, well, Sarah, the money doesn't like you can make all this money and you realize in the beginning when you don't have money, you think that's the solution to all your problems. Exactly. And you're like, sweet, I need to make money, and now I'm making a lot of money, and now what? But there has to eventually be a turning point, and whether that is at, you know, like a $10,000 mark, 100,000, $1 million, wherever that mark is for you, you need to find purpose in what you do. If you don't have that purpose, the money won't continue to motivate you. People that have money still have problems. They still have things that come into their life. And when I'm the same as you, Sarah, like when I see people transform their lives, like I'm crying happy tears. I'm like, I want to see them just live the life they always wanted with their kids, you know, or maybe they want to travel around the world, but maybe they want to do all these different things. And when I get to see that through and support somebody in that process, that's the money doesn't matter anymore. And people don't believe you when you say that, but you're like, no, but really, like the magic of watching that happen in other humans and being a small part, or even just being somebody that cheers them on, even just somebody that's in their corner all the time when they've got questions or challenges, they come to you and they help you overcome those little things. That alone, like that's what brings people joy, when you get to act in service to other people around you. And I've never ever found anything like network marketing that does that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Tony, That's my CEO right there. So,
Hi,
and,
Kelly.
Yay.
but it's absolutely
Love it.
true. It's absolutely true with what you said. I actually, I appreciate that, Kelly. Everything that she said that she's learned in business is through network marketing, which then can help you go solo, build your own brand, do all kinds of other things, right? One interesting thing, because I want that value to really stick with our audience that even watches this later on replay. And that's the fact that could the two of you by yourself sell enough product to do $200 million a year?
No way.
No.
No way.
So right. And so with everything, yeah, with everything
Well,
you just
I thought he was actually going to give me a trick question. So that's why I was,
yeah.
I was like,
No,
okay,
no, but
don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. That's all I was thinking in my mind.
but I'm expanding on that, right? Like everything you just said, Christina, is the fact that $200 million does not come without duplication. And so not only have you put in the work, you found a way to help others do the same exact thing. And that's where magic happens, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to both of you on that.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming to the almost end because we have a little thing to do. But Sarah, what is one thing I want to ask both of you guys? What is one thing that you would like our audience to hear around this subject? If they were married or have that unsupportive spouse, what would be one thing of advice?
I think, so I'm going to actually answer something else and then I'll kind of answer this. So I was just kind of thinking of this. I don't know. Someone must be watching for this part. For a long time, I always wanted to work with a partner and I worked solo for a long time, right? I worked, when I got involved, I was 21 years old. I didn't meet Tony until I was 33. So I worked in this profession by myself for a long time. And I saw a lot of people that I had seen that worked together. I was like, I used to remember, I was like, God, I want to find somebody, that I could work side by side that actually gets what I get. Right. And I wanted that to happen for so long until I realized one day that it was like, well, Sarah, if this guy showed up, what were you actually bringing to the table? And so it made me stop and go, you got to work on you. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have a great partner in this business, like you got to work on yourself. Like, how are you? And so I worked really hard on me. I worked through my insecurities. I worked through the stuff that, I wanted to show up as the best me. So when he showed up, I was ready. You know what I mean? And so, so for some of you that are maybe looking for like, oh my gosh, one day I would love to have that best, spouse, partner, whatever in this business. I mean, you gotta be ready. You know what I mean? And some of us are like limping in our business, or we've got traits in our business or traits in our life that are toxic that haven't been willing to work through. And we've been brushing it under the rug or procrastinating or whatever it is. And I'm like, man, you have to like work through that stuff. So when that person shows up and you can build successfully and healthy, right? In a healthy environment, right? So I don't know who needed to hear that, but whoever it is,
I think,
I loved it.
It's time to dig in. It's time to dig in. You know, it's funny, Sarah, because I remember like being young and fancy and free and having a bunch of girlfriends and always going out, and girls were always, I was never interested in dating somebody that had money, because any date that I'd ever gone on with somebody that had money, they were arrogant, they were disrespectful, they just didn't, they weren't looking for a partner. And so we would have these conversations and these girls would be dating these guys and be unhappy, or they wouldn't be able to find the guy that they wanted. And I would often ask them that question, well, what do you bring to the table? If you want to go date a successful, handsome, fit person, are you successful? Are you beautiful? Are you fit? Are you emulating all of the qualities that you want to find in a partner? And I think that lesson alone, honestly, when it comes down to it, in life, in marriage, with your kids, right? Even when you're parenting with your kids, it's like who you are is often reflected immediately in your children.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, ugly, whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
And so you tend as a parent to like level up your life and start being a way better stand-up human, because you realize everybody's watching. But if you had that self-responsibility before you even met somebody or before you even got into business and honored who you are. That's what I love about you guys, is like, you guys say, okay, well, we're really different, but we honor what you're good at, and I honor what I'm good at, and you work together so that it ebbs and flows. I think that's part of creating a successful partnership, and just constantly becoming the best version of yourself. Because I know that there are times, there are ups and downs in business, there are ups and downs in marriage, but who you are in that process is what determines your outcome, not how hard you work or, your ego that is going to determine it. It's who you become in the process that matters in creating long-term success.
Absolutely. And for those taking notes, by the way, in the last 49 minutes, Tony has told Sarah that she's beautiful 3 times. So little
Did you really, Tony? I didn't even catch it, but okay, I believe.
I didn't catch it. I hear it all the time. I just brushed.
Little piece of advice for guys that are
what is one
listening
thing from you, Tony, that you would like to tell us?
Yeah. I think about early on when we got married.
Sarah is totally beautiful. That's
yes. I remember.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this, because I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I remember, kind of our journey together. We had just gotten married. You were building a business, thinking about having a family. We didn't have a lot of money, just trying to figure stuff out. And I just remember when it got challenging, and when obstacles came our way, and it was a lot. I think about it back then. For me, it was easy for me to blame and point the finger at Sarah and not take personal responsibility. But what it came down to is, Tony, you were drinking too much. Tony, you were using too much. Tony, it was, you doing the things that, you needed to correct, that you needed to clean up, that you needed to take ownership of, that you needed to fix, that you needed to work on you, and not point the finger and want to throw in the towel or want to quit so easy because you think you can just go and find someone else and all your junk is gonna, just vanish, because it doesn't work that way, And I had a fight for my marriage. I had a fight for my business. You know what I mean? I had a fight to get clean and sober. Like, I had to figure my crap out and stop blaming everybody else and take ownership and figure Tony out. And that, once I took that responsibility, our marriage became better. Our business exploded. My relationships got stronger. But I had to raise my hand and say, it's me. It's me.
Wow.
And that was huge for us and me personally.
Taking ownership, just in general, is the best piece of advice for anyone. Work on self. I love that. And thank you for sharing that testimony, Tony.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tony, I've always admired that you are so real and honest and open about your struggles, because there's so many people out there that are struggling the same way that you are. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Sarah and Tony, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I adore you. I've always loved you guys since the day that you called me and we had like a 2-hour conversation. You guys still, to this day, answer my text and my calls and everything. So I appreciate you so much for coming on today. On the Uncensored Entrepreneurs and being real, raw, and unplugged.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to have a little special announcement, because today is Christina Whiteley's 40th birthday. And we here at Uncensored Entrepreneurs just wanted to tell you how much we love you and how much we appreciate you being on the show and being co-host and friend and mentor. But we also have a couple of people who would like to tell you happy birthday too.
Yeah. So we are going to close out with a little thing here. And so thank you again to our guests. I know that a lot of times people tune into the podcast and they're not able to actually see the video. And so the best ways that you can get in touch with Sarah and Tony is getthe7ways.com, and that's with the number 7. So get the number 7ways.com. It's also, it leads right into sarahantony.com. And you can find out.
Cute.
So we appreciate that. We appreciate both of you. And again, happy birthday, Christina. And if technology works, then we'll see you all in the next episode.
Nice to see you. Thank you guys for being here.
A couple more minutes if you can.
Okay.
Well, somebody is fixing some things.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. We love you and hope you have the best day ever. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be your husband, and you're such a great mom to Izzy and will be to Isaac. And I'll keep this short because I think there's a few more to come. But have a great day, and we love you.
I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything you do. And me and Dad love you very much. You are definitely supposed to be part of our family. And we're very excited that you're going to have a baby. But also, we're excited because it's coming your birthday, and we're going to give you lots of presents and treats. Love you, Mom.
Happy birthday, Christina. Wishing you so much success this year. You deserve all the amazing, incredible things that are happening for you and your family this year. I'm so excited for you. And I also want to thank you so much for making so much of an impact in all of our lives. We truly appreciate you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Christina. Big 4-0. I can't wait to see you next, and also see what's up next in your family's next chapter. And miss you lots. Love you tons. Hope you're celebrating well. Love you.
Hi, Christina. Happiest of birthdays to you. I knew since the first day we met on Pivotal Beach walking our dogs that I wanted to be your friend. You are a true inspiration for all women. A wonderful, successful entrepreneur. Always has something nice to say and a smile on your face. Probably came a better day when you, Ryan, and Izzy moved to it. And you are such a beauty. Love you from the inside out. Have the most happiest and special of birthdays.
Happy birthday, Christina. Greetings from
PV, Mexico.
we'll have seen you before you see this. Happy birthday. Can't see you enough.
Happy 40th. Can't wait to give you a big hug. We love you so much.
Love you both. Goodbye.
Happy birthday, Christina. Love you.
Happy birthday, my gorgeous granddaughter. You know what? This is take 3. Anyway, I want to wish you the best of a birthday. I hope you're with your friends and that your day is as amazing as you are. I love you so much. I also wish I was there to have a virgin martini with you. Anyhow, it'll happen. Bless you, my darling. Bye.
Hi, Christina. Happy birthday. I wish you are in here. Bye. Have a nice day.
Hi, Christina. Happy birthday. I hope you spend at least part of this big 40th birthday reflecting on what you've built and where you are and how much you've accomplished, because you have a lot to be proud of. And I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but for me, I feel like 40 is like the time when we just become so unapologetically ourselves. And what could really be better than that? So enjoy and have a wonderful birthday. Love you.
Happy birthday, Christina. This is a big one for you. 40, welcome to the other side of 40. This is going to be a great year for you and probably a great decade. I hope your business continues to excel. I'm sure it will. Oh, by the way, we're anxious to meet little Jose. As soon as you can introduce him to us and to the family, that'll be wonderful. Anyway, love you a bunch. Carry on. Be safe. Take care. Bye for now.
Happy birthday, Christina. I would have loved to raise you as my own daughter, but I'm still very proud of the woman you've become. And you have a great day. Love you.
Happy birthday, Christina. Wow, turning 40. Can you believe it? I'm very excited for you. Look what you've accomplished so far in business. As you know, Bruce and I have been inspired to watch you, and I know you've inspired others. Your incredible adventurous spirits taking you to all parts and new experiences. That's lots of fun. We love you very much. We miss you, of course, but we're so glad that you're enjoying life to the fullest. You're beautiful inside and out, great mom, great wife, great daughter-in-law, and we wish you absolutely everything life can offer for the next decade coming. Good health, excitement, fun, prosperity, success, it all. We love you millions. Happy 40th birthday, Christina, from Bruce and I.
Wow, Christina, 40 years ago today at 10:16 in the morning, I saw your face for the first time, and I will never forget that moment. I'm very proud of you. You've always known that. I am so blessed that you are my daughter and my friend. I love you so, so much, darling girl. You will always be my sunshine.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christina. We love you. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, Christina. I just want you to know how proud I am of you for all the things that you do and for how you help people and you show up in this world. I'm very excited to meet the new little one growing in your belly, and I'm sorry I can't be with you on your birthday this year, but like you said, next year we'll do a do-over. I hope you have the best 40th birthday ever. You know, Ryan, foot rubs, maybe some spa time, who knows. But I love you dearly, and I hope you have the best birthday ever. Mwah.
Hi, Christina. Happy 40th birthday. Oh my goodness. It's a big milestone, and I am so excited for what this next year and this next decade is going to bring for you. I miss you lots running into you here in Victoria, but love watching your life unfold online and look forward to the next time we can see you. Love you so much. Happy birthday. Bye.
Christina. Lexi and I just wanted to wish you a happy 40th birthday. Hope we get to see you soon.
Happy birthday, Christina. Have an amazing day. Definitely, I mean, you are already the queen of your household. And so I just say put all the requests out there, right? Even the baby that's in your womb, right? Make sure they're treating you exactly the way you should be treated. Tell your husband you want that new car. Tell your daughter to make you some pancakes. Tell the baby in your womb to maybe not kick you so hard today. I don't know. But you know what? You deserve each and every amazing thing that comes into your life today and every day thereafter. So enjoy the day. Happy birthday. Talk to you real soon.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Auntie Christina. Come on, Luz. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy 40th, Christina. We love you so much. We hope you have a great day with Izzy and Ryan and all your friends down there. And we'll talk to you soon. We love you.
Happy 40th, Christina. Are you really 40? I don't believe it. You never age. You never age. So I don't really believe this, but I'm doing a happy birthday video just in case it's true. So happy birthday. We hope everyone here from the Butler household hopes that you have an incredible day filled with magic and mystery and laughter, and can't wait to see you again. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have an incredible day. I hope that Ryan and Izzy spoil you so much, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys. Thank you for always being there for me, and I appreciate our friendship so much. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Christina. I hope you have the best day.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you, Christina.
birthday, Christina. I'm wishing you a fantabulous day ahead. I hope you enjoy it to the fullest. It's been such a pleasure working with you, dear, and getting to know your beautiful family. And I wish you many, many more birthdays to come and much success.
Hey, Christina, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You're amazing. We're so grateful for you. You are one of the most awesome people ever, and I hope you have the best day. I hope you get spoiled, and I hope you enjoy your day in Mexico. We know it's going to be sunny. We love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Christina Whiteley. Woo-hoo! Last birthday as a family of 3. So stoked for you. Bring it on, family of 4. I'm so excited when I see videos. It makes me want to cry. It's been amazing to work beside you within the mastermind and get so much knowledge, information, and inspiration. That's the word I'm looking for. From you, your family. Love you lots. Have the best birthday ever.
Happy birthday, Christina.
I am so blessed to call you a friend and have you in my circle and in my world. I just want you to know how much I appreciate every single contribution that you make to raising the world's vibration, every prayer, all the love that you give. You are changing lives every single day, and the world is a better place with you in it. I absolutely love you. Have an amazing 40th birthday. I wish I was there to celebrate with you. Blessings, and have an amazing day.
Happy birthday, Christina. Hope you're having a great day. We are so proud of you over the years, all your accomplishments and everything else. We hope you have a wonderful birthday. Again, we're very, very proud to be a part of your life. And from Dad and Sherry here, we love you so much, and we will see you soon. So
Love you, and
happy birthday. Bye for now.
See you soon. Bye.
Happy
birthday,
Christina.
On somewhere. Cheers.
From Premier Buzz VA, Christina, we wish you a happy birthday. Enjoy your day.
Happy birthday, Christina. Thank you so much for being such an amazing person, amazing mentor, friend, and co-host on Uncensored Entrepreneurs. I hope today is as amazing as you are, and I hope all of these people were able to brighten your day. I love you so much, and thank you for being such an amazing person. Happy birthday. So I wanted to just kind of say thank you to Sarah and Tony had to leave, so I told them they can go ahead and jump off. But 2 people helped me create these amazing videos, and that was one, your mom. Her and I have been cahoots behind the scenes.
That mom.
And Ryan, him and I have been doing things behind the scenes too. And then Rayo put this amazing video together for me. And I just want to tell you guys, all 3 of you guys, thank you so much for helping create this amazing birthday for her and telling her happy birthday. I know it was a little bit long. I just wanted to, but everybody kept bringing it in. And I was like, and your grandmother and great grandmother, I was just like,
now you know how big my family is.
I was like, that is the cutest thing. So
happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
You guys, make sure you guys flood her inbox with birthday wishes. We hope you have a beautiful day, baby.